8. The 6 types of value. As Michael and Sarah became more comfortable with the appraisal process, another question came up during their meeting. Michael held up the appraisal report and said, "The appraised value is $550,000. Sarah looked at the county tax records on her phone, but the county says the property is worth only $472,000. The seller quickly added, "My insurance company has the home insured for over $600,000. Everyone paused. 3 different numbers for the same property. So, which one is right? The answer is simple. They may all be right. One of the biggest misconceptions among buyers and sellers is believing that every value represents the same thing. In reality, the word value can have several different meanings depending on why the property is being evaluated. Let's begin with the one you've already learned: market value. Market value is the most familiar type of value because it is the foundation of most residential real estate transactions. It represents the most probable price a property should bring in an open and competitive market, when both the buyer and seller are acting knowledgeably, voluntarily, and without undue pressure. This is the value most appraisers estimate for mortgage lending purposes. It answers the question, what would a typical buyer likely pay for this property under normal market conditions? For most Arizona residential transactions, market value is the number everyone focuses on. Investment value. Now imagine an investor looking at the same property. The investor plans to convert the home into a short-term vacation rental near Scottsdale's entertainment district. Based on projected rental income, the investor believes the property is worth significantly more than today's market value. Has market value changed? No. A property simply has greater investment value to that particular buyer because of its expected income potential. Investment value is unique to a specific purchaser and may be higher or lower than market value depending on the buyer's financial goals. Assessed value. Sarah points back to the county website. So what about the assessed value? This is another area where clients often become confused. In Arizona, county assessors establish assessed values primarily for property taxation. These values are determined according to Arizona tax laws and assessment procedures, not by current market negotiations between buyers and sellers. Because assessment schedules often lag behind rapidly changing markets, assessed value may be considerably higher or lower than market value. This is why experienced agents caution clients against relying solely on county tax records when estimating what a property will sell for. Insurable value. My insurance company says the home is insured for over $600,000. Doesn't that mean it's worth at least that much? Not necessarily. Insurance companies are generally concerned with the cost to rebuild the improvements if they are damaged or destroyed, not the market value of the land. Think about it this way. If a fire completely destroys a home in Gilbert, the land is still there. The insurance company is primarily calculating what it would cost to reconstruct the structure using current labor and material costs. That's known as insurable value. It often differs substantially from market value because land value is typically excluded. Liquidation value. Let's look at another situation. Suppose a homeowner experiences severe financial hardship and must sell immediately to avoid foreclosure. They accept the first reasonable offer after only a few days on the market. The resulting sales price may represent liquidation value rather than market value. Liquidation value reflects the price the property is likely to bring when the seller has little time to negotiate. Because the sale occurs under pressure, liquidation value is often lower than market value. This is one reason appraisers carefully analyze whether comparable sales were normal arm's-length transactions before relying on them. Salvage value. Finally, imagine an older home in rural Arizona that has suffered extensive fire damage. The structure itself is no longer economically repairable. However, valuable materials such as decorative stone, antique wood beams, custom ironwork, or architectural fixtures can still be removed and sold. The value of those recoverable materials is known as salvage value. Although residential agents encounter salvage value less frequently than other types of value, understanding the concept helps explain why severely damaged properties may still retain economic worth. As Michael and Sarah finished reviewing the appraisal, they finally understood why different documents contained different values. The appraisal estimated market value. The county established assessed value. The insurance policy reflected insurable value. An investor might calculate investment value. A distressed sale could involve liquidation value, and a damaged structure might retain salvage value. None of these values are necessarily wrong. They're simply answering different questions. This is something experienced brokers explain to clients regularly. Understanding which type of value applies to a particular situation prevents confusion, improves communication, and builds credibility with buyers and sellers. In the next section, we'll examine another essential appraisal concept: highest and best use. You'll learn why appraisers don't simply evaluate a property based on how it's being used today. Instead, they analyze how the property should be used to create the greatest overall value under current market conditions. Broker tip: when clients point to tax records, insurance policies, or online valuation estimates, don't immediately say they're wrong. Instead, explain that each value was developed for a different purpose. Helping clients understand why different values exist builds trust and demonstrates professional expertise. Online discussion. 1. Why can the same property have several different values at the same time? Answer: each type of value serves a different purpose. Market value supports buying and selling decisions. Assessed value is used for taxation. Insurable value estimates rebuilding costs. Investment value reflects a particular investor's goals. Liquidation value applies to distressed sales. And salvage value represents recoverable materials from damaged improvements. 2. How would you explain the difference between market value and assessed value to a homeowner? Answer: market value estimates what a property would likely sell for in today's open market. Assessed value is determined by the county using property tax laws and assessment procedures. Because they serve different purposes, the two values often differ and should not be expected to match. 3. Why should real estate agents understand the different types of value when advising clients? Answer: clients frequently compare appraisals, tax records, insurance policies, and online estimates without realizing each serves a different purpose. Understanding these distinctions allows agents to answer questions accurately, reduce confusion, and help clients make informed real estate decisions.